Greetings, everyone, and welcome once again to another presentation right here on the Sports Crib every Wednesday night, as you know. As you can see on the bottom there, we have our usual commercial stuff here. You subscribe and donate to our cause, and as you know, all donations go toward our fantasy sports prizes, as well as keeping us on the air. So with all of that in mind, let's get started here. I have Dave is back from the wilderness here, like Paul wandering in the wilderness there. We haven't had him for a while, but Dave, how you doing?
I'm doing okay. Had a fantastic trip to Spain. Really had a great time up in the Pyrenees Mountains, and it was something special. But then as soon as I got home, I got sick. I let myself get run down, but I'm getting back in the saddle.
Bo, how you doing this evening?
How's it going, guys? I'm excited to hear about your trip. I mean, bummer that you got sick on the way back, but I feel like that happens to most people, really.
Yeah, I've just been doing like a whole lot of travel. I was in Dublin, a couple weeks before then, and I was going to the Steeler games and just let myself get run down.
Yeah, all the time in an airplane usually gets people anyway, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, I guess the hardest thing now is getting down, huh? Don't know what's going on. I know I've noticed a noticeable difference here in San Diego in the drop in airline traffic.
Oh yeah.
Not that I live pretty close to we only have one way in and one way out of our airport, so But yeah, I've noticed a drastic dip in air traffic. So yeah, but I'm kind of with Bo there. Dave, tell us a little bit about the Pyrenees. I know some people that live on the coast there, but not a lot of people live in the mountains.
Yeah, well, we were in Pamplona first. I was with my uncle and aunt and my sister. So we went to the archives in Pamplona, and we found these two records of Casa de Orechenas, spelt just the way we spell our name. So these are two different properties, and then one was in a place called Eguis up in the mountains, and the other place was Esnots. And we also went up to Roncesvalles, which is right near the border. This is where the Holy Walk takes place, where these people walk over like 40 days. They cover about 500 or 600 miles walking. And that's one of the big stops. But what was pretty cool was to go to these little towns, meet a lot of Basque people. And they were actually familiar. Some people were able to point out the buildings that they think were the Casa de Orechenas referenced in these documents from the 1700s. And this one couple, they invited us to their house, my sister and I, to their house for dinner. And the big sport among the Basques is pelota, which is like high line. It's like handball, like it's a handball. They also have one with like a racket. But it's like on the TV, like that's the big sport. So this guy was trying to explain the tactics and strategy, and so it was pretty cool. Had a very nice time. And Pamplona is where they do for San Fermin the running of the bulls in July. And that had always been a dream of mine to do that. I never will, but I was able to walk the streets where the run actually takes place and walk right up to the arena. And it was really, really nice. Good food, good drink. People were very nice. So, and I'd like to get off the beaten track. So that we had a rental car.
Sorry.
That was really neat.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. always wondered about who cleans up after that run.
Yeah, well, they run it with 6 bulls and 6 steers. The steers are, they're a little more docile, but they'll run with the pack. I guess it's too dangerous. They've had 11 people killed since 1911.
Yeah, I mean,
and they've been running this for centuries.
Yeah, they still have horns. It doesn't make any difference whether they're steers or bulls. That's not the part that counts when it comes to naming them.
Yeah, but the bulls will be aggressive. They'll actually, they'll go after people. So they've had, a lot of people get gored and unfortunately, if they hit like a femoral artery or something, that can bleed out really fast.
If an animal that weighs close to a ton, hits you anywhere, it doesn't matter. I mean, if he steps on your foot,
right. And these streets are very narrow, and they curve around. I mean, it's just imagining running through there is just crazy.
Well, good luck. I just think about jumping out of airplanes, but nothing but animals chasing me. That's
right.
So I hear that the Pirates rookie won he's not a rookie, his second year, right?
Cy Young for
Cy
Skanes.
Young. Yep. I guess that certainly means he'll be a Dodger or a Yankee next year, right?
Well, that's literally his rookie year. A guy had a pinstripe uniform with Skanes on the back of it opening day in Pittsburgh, and the knock on Pittsburgh is that the owner has not been willing to spend money. And so they got the Skanes, they got this guy, they did pay him, but then you needed to buy some lumber to give him some support. And if you look at his record, he's Cy Young winner, phenomenal pitcher, but look at the record. And I would love it if they could somehow keep him, but don't waste his career. And so unless Nutting is willing to invest in a supporting staff, maybe it's better for baseball for him to go to a club that will provide him a supporting cast. Because I think he's a special pitcher.
He won that with a losing record, right? Which would make him the first starter to ever win with a losing record, right?
Yeah, he had a losing record.
But he had a win.
I forget where he finished up at. But yeah, it was pretty bad.
Because, I mean, I know there was a closer that won a Cy Young once with a losing record, but I think he'd be the first starter to ever do it. But I didn't see where he ended. But I'm assuming it was with a losing record because he was pretty far the wrong direction. Most.
But he still did it with the ERA under 2, though.
He finished 10-10.
Oh, okay. So he narrowly missed being the first.
Yeah. But still, I mean, it was like at one point, I think he was like 2-8 or something. It was really horrendous record. And
that's why I thought he probably did.
Yeah. But like I was saying, he did it with ERA less than 2.
Yeah, he really.
Yeah, so maybe you guys can, what is this thing? The new scandal here, pitch. What is it? Pitch
rigging. These are proposition bets. This is proposition betting.
Yeah, but I mean, what? I know, we've had all kinds of scandals. I mean, what? this is something that's new to me. Pitch rigging. What
So
and
this
I
one,
know it. I know it has to do with, like you say, prop bets and that. But
so this one was weird for a couple of reasons, because basically it was the third pitch had to basically be a slider that ends in the left batter's box, right? And so, but the problem was they were doing it constantly, and they were just throwing like $5,000 bets randomly at like every third pitch. So of course people are going to catch on. Like, not only that, you have the pitcher rigging it. Maybe mix it up, right? I mean, you can still miss to the other batter's box. It doesn't have to be a slider, right? You could just straight chuck it over there. It could be a wild pitch, doesn't matter. But if you're going to do it every single time like that, of course that got picked up on.
So how does this go now? I mean, I put in a bet that the pitcher is going to hit the left batter's box on the third pitch.
Yeah, well, so basically what you'd be doing is you'd be doing a prop bet of, I think the third pitch of this at bat, because these are going to be as it goes, right? So you'd be like, I think the third pitch of this at bat is going to be a slider and it's going to miss wide in the left batter's box, and you'd throw $5,000 on it, and I don't know what the line would be, but I bet you make pretty good money on it. And so, but if you just keep doing it and you keep doing the same pitch, like that's the part that's wild. It'd be one thing if you're like, oh, I think this one's going to be a slider, and I think this one's going to be a curveball, or whatever. Like if you did that, then Vegas could at least kind of look at it as, oh, you're kind of guessing right. But if you're like every third pitch is a slider that misses wide, I mean, it doesn't take a genius to be like, hey, there might be some rigging going. Like, you're at least going to investigate it, even if there isn't something going on.
Yeah, and I'm hoping that it's an isolated incident, but the problem is that in any sport where the player has control, like the pitcher, well, he can control whether he throws a ball or a strike. Most pitchers can, or even in football. Say the prop bet is Jalen Warren going to have over or under 25 carries? We could be at 24 carries and then all of a sudden say, I don't feel good. I'm out.
Yeah.
And take himself out of the game. And so,
oh, my ankle.
and I think, the concern with it, and notice over, the recent years, sports betting has been around for a long time. But in the last 20 years, at least in the NFL, the league has embraced it. Before 20 years ago, the NFL kept their distance from sports betting to the point that the Rooney family owned a racetrack and 49% interest in a casino. Because of those interests, they were forced to reorganize their ownership. And so the Rooney families, they had to have some Rooney family that ran the dog track in the casino, and then Mark Rooney and some others ran the football operation. Yeah. Well, today you literally have sports books that are like the official Steelers sports book.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so and now one of the things is, and it's been very subtle, but you'll notice that all of a sudden they have the 1-800-gambling number.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because there's people that are getting into real trouble. 5 years ago, you didn't have that. And so it's showing that
before they had guys that come break your legs.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Good old bookies. Let's go.
Yeah. See,
I'm hoping it's an isolated incident, but the problem is that they've always said, well, these guys make so much money, they don't need to bet. Well, look, a lot of it is ego driven. And a lot of it is hey, you get into the habit of betting and you just want to bet.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like a lifestyle almost.
Yeah,
you guys also have the I won't get caught, right? Like they like that end of it too. So
right.
It's no, and unfortunately, I bet it's not an isolated incident. Really,
Pardon the pun. You bet.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I mean, honestly, because I would venture to guess that this was just because they were sloppy in the way they did it. I have no doubt in my mind other guys have done it. They probably did it less consistently, and they did it a little more randomized, and you're not going to pick up on it, right?
Yeah.
But with the amount of betting scandals that are coming out this year, there's no way this is isolated, right? Like you got key people from the NBA looking at, real prison time because of different types of gambling. And I mean, it's a problem, but like Dave said, there's a conflict of interest in the fact that the leagues are now sponsored by DraftKings and FanDuel and BetMGM, and you can't tell all these guys you can't bet, and then your whole organization is sponsored by every betting apparatus known to man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was, I think that's one of the things, that they're trying to settle whether or not, college players can sports bet, going through this. But it's one of those things I think we could do, a whole program on pro and con. But, like you said, these are things that didn't even exist 15, 20 years ago. Or at least they weren't embraced, as you said. I mean, I think ESPN is the only one that has actually cut out their sports betting side. But like you said, MGM, I use DraftKings, for our over under and our predictions. So
I mean, my Pick'em show is brought to you by Bet Us. That's literally my Thursday show is brought to you by Sports Betting App.
Yeah. Speaking of betting, it seems like Brian Kelly has decided, not only was he not playing enough golf while he was working, but now he's betting that he can get all of his money from LSU. I think he wants the whole $64 million instead of the buyout. What you guys' thoughts on this, Bo?
Well, so I don't think he would have gone that route if it wasn't for LSU coming out and, telling him you're fired, telling the media he's fired, telling everyone they could tell that he's out the door. And then soon as he's like, okay, I'll take my money. And they're like, well, but you're not actually fired yet. And so, I mean, LSU, I think, realized, oh, we're on the hook for a lot of money, and now we have to actually just pay it. And so the way they're going about it, Brian Kelly's going to win. They're like, oh, we're trying to find a way to not pay him anything for cause, but you've already fired him. You've already let the entire world know that you fired. Like, you can't, just because there was some semantics that you didn't fill out some paperwork, you can't tell everyone under the sun this guy's fired and be like, just kidding, he still works here. Like, they will lose in court. They would be so much better off to just pay him out and call it a day, because they're just going to look worse and worse as this goes on.
You agree with Dave? You agree with Bo there, Dave?
Well, yeah, I mean, the thing is whether you agree with him being fired or not, there's a way about doing it. And you're talking big money, you're talking contracts. And so if you're going to let somebody go like that, you have to have a strategy to do it, to prevent exactly what's happening here. You have to be careful, because you're talking millions and millions of dollars at stake. So I don't blame Brian Kelly if he has a good case, and if he wins it, well, hey, he's justified in going after it.
Yeah, and it would probably set a precedent too. I'm sure. You know.
Well,
But
I mean, the Penn State coach, he kind of rattled the cage a little bit whenever he was let go. And I'm sure that the moment that he was fired, he had attorneys going over his contract with a fine-tooth comb to see if they had any leverage to do just what was happening here. So whether this is a new precedent or not, I'm just sure that in this case, LSU just may have dropped the ball in terms of how they went about doing it.
yeah, I mean, it was no secret that LSU was firing him. Long before they made the announcement. So, Bo, has the Heisman come down to 2 Pac 12, 20, whatever, quarterbacks?
The Big 18.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it kind of has at the moment. There's still some football left, so we'll see. But Indiana's
the last 3 weeks, right?
Yeah. But I mean, things can happen in those last 3 weeks.
Yeah.
I do think it's kind of Indiana's quarterback to lose, Mendoza, right? Now, obviously, Ohio State's quarterback has a shot at this thing. The thing that's kind of interesting about this is, although it shouldn't matter, it will matter, is the Big Ten championship game. Because for all intents and purposes, it looks like it's going to be those two playing each other, right? And the way that the voting checks out is the voting starts before the championship game, but ends after it. So although it shouldn't matter, right? Like that's a regular season award kind of thing. But the way that the dates align, do I think that Mendoza could potentially lose that and win the Heisman? It's possible, depending on how he loses it. But if he shrinks in that game, he doesn't win. So that championship game probably matters a lot, provided they play each other. Anything can happen. There's still a couple weeks left. But I do think it's his to lose at this point.
Yeah, it does seem to be. Who is it? Ohio, Indiana, Alabama, and who's the fourth one?
Yeah, Ty Simpson for Alabama, I think, has he's got an outside shot. I think I don't think he gets there though. I think the other two guys are just a little too much ahead. I think the fourth one is the guy for A&M.
Not Moore, not the Oregon guy.
I think he's right there with him. I forget the A&M guy's name. I think is it Reed? I don't remember offhand.
We need Bill.
Yeah, right. Yeah, because then he could tell me his grandfather's middle name. But, I believe it's Reed. I could be wrong. But yeah, the Oregon guy as well. But I don't think either one of those guys are really in striking distance. Alabama's probably, Ty Simpson there probably has the third best shot. But no, Mendoza, I'm pretty sure, barring some horrendous play over the next couple of weeks, should probably win that thing.
Nah.
And they do the vote in December, right?
Yeah, so it's I had this written down because let me see if I can find it. Because it's the timing of it that's kind of funny.
It's before the college football playoffs, I thought.
So it's before the playoffs, but it's during the
regular season.
It's during the championship game. So the voting opens a few days before the championship game, but ends a couple days after the championship game is played.
The conference championship.
Correct. And so it makes it a unique situation because if it was closed before then the championship game would have no effect on it, right? Because the voting had already been done. But because the championship game happens then, if it ends up being Indiana and Ohio State, whichever quarterback comes up small in that loses the Heisman, right?
Yeah.
Now, you can potentially play really good and lose the game and still win the Heisman. But if you come up small, because the voting is like, that game's in the middle of the voting window, you probably not only lose that game, but then you lose the Heisman as well. So
yeah. So there may be some recency bias in it, but I still like the idea of having the conference championship being a part of it, factored in to the Heisman.
Yeah. Oh, so here we go. Here's where I had it. So the ballots are distributed December 1st, and the deadline is December 8th, and the Big Ten championship is December 6th.
Yeah.
Ooh,
So, yeah. So, like, I would bet there's going to be a lot of people that hang on to that ballot because they want to watch that championship game.
Oh yeah, and
so
I mean, it's not like it takes. You got to go through the post office. It's electronic now.
Well, not only that, but I mean, even if you did the post office, it has to be postmarked by the 8th, right? So, so you could still watch the game, analyze it, watch the tape over, and post it before the deadline. So yeah, it'll be. I mean, you mentioned recency bias. It'll probably hinge on that game.
Yeah, probably. That's a very good observation here. Like you said, I'm sure that is definitely going to factor in. Guys, let's see. Let's talk a little NFL here quick. Bo, you still around 7-ish?
Yep.
Oh, okay. So real quick, Bo, what do you think about the fans ending their losing streak there, beating up the Bills? And I mean beating them up, not just, it wasn't close.
I mean, what a weird thing. So the Bills are funny in the way that their defense really isn't great. So they live and die on whatever Josh Allen is doing. Crazy to think that Josh Allen looked so bad in that game, considering the Dolphins don't play defense. So that was a little bit weird. But every time the Dolphins get one of these little spikes, it helps prolong Mike McDaniel's tenure, right? I still think he ultimately ends up getting fired, and they want to reset that franchise. But yeah, I mean, it was a good win, one that doesn't matter because their season's over. Tyreek Hill's probably not coming back. He's injured. He's out for the year. He's probably done before he can come back. I really thought they were going to move Waddle, right? He's having the best year of his career, and he's also randomly healthy for a team that doesn't seem to be going anywhere, has a real chance to fire their coach. I don't know why you wouldn't just be like, hey, you know what? Let's move Waddle. We can get maximum for him before the trade deadline for a team that's going to go win something. And, just be like, hey, you know what? Let's just pack it in, realize our thing that we tried didn't work. They're already talking about potentially moving off of Tua. So, I mean, which is funny because Green Bay's doing the same thing, right? Like, oh, we're going to move off Jordan Love. It's like, you guys just signed both of those guys to $55 million a year contracts. Like, I don't know what the plan is, but if the plan is to blow the thing up, just do
it. Yeah. Dave, the Pats are 8-2, and they just beat the Bucks. What do you think about the turnaround of the Pats? Real deal or not?
Yeah, well, I mean, I've always liked Mike Vrabel. I think Tennessee made a mistake when they let him go, and they should have stayed the course probably. But I think he's going to develop a good defense, and then the quarterback there, May, he's proven to be the real deal. At first it was kind of like, okay, well, let's see, and then every week it's like, let's see. Well, now we're into week 11, and they're 8-2. So I would say right now the Patriots are the real deal. But any given week, like Buffalo, I start to wonder sometimes if teams really, if the players really put out their full effort week in, week out. It makes me wonder. And not that they got to play and they're going to play hard, but there's one thing about playing. Hey, buddy, one of my pooch just came in. But it's one thing to play hard, but to really that 110% effort. Where you're going to be all balls out and not be making business decisions. And that has me wondering. And I think right now the Patriots, they're looking good. So I would say, they're the real deal.
Yeah, I think this is a game of what you just call making business decisions. I don't think. Well, anyway, we that's another program we can get into all day. You know, but Bo, the Broncos, they lead the AFC. They're 8-2. They're unbeaten at home, 5-0. What do you think about you weren't here last week. I was talking about are we going to see Buffalo and Kansas City in the championship again this year, or are they going to be also Rams?
Well, I mean, that's two different things, right? So, I mean, KC is going to be fine. They started out the year minus a couple of players, right? Rice was suspended for 6 games. You had Worthy out with an injury. So, I mean, they're going to be fine. They're on their way back. You can say the same thing for like the Ravens, right? They had some injuries. They're working their way back through. The Broncos are interesting because they keep finding ways to gut out wins, even when they're ugly. And even though I don't love the way they're winning, it shows a lot of resolve for them to keep winning that way, right? Like we watched a horrendous game in primetime where it was 10-7, right? Like it wasn't exactly a game that you wanted to watch, but they find ways to win those close games. And so you have to respect what they're doing. I mean, you can't luck into 8-2, right? Like you got to actually go out and play some football. Because, if you're like 3-0, you can be like, yeah, you didn't play anybody, which they kind of didn't at the beginning. And, you can make those arguments. But once you're, 10 games into the season, you can't really make those arguments anymore. Now you're like, I mean, they're a good team. They have a top 5 defense, and their offense does just enough. And, that's a program you can win with, right? Defense wins championships. So you can find ways to win that. When you're built like Buffalo, that's a different conversation, right? Because when Josh Allen isn't able to be Superman, right? He throws 3 picks in that game against the Dolphins. What was his defense able to do? Oh, nothing, right? So that is probably the biggest thing is if Bo Nix has a bad game, which he did, a good defense can help you still win that game. If your offense is the only thing you have, you end up with the Bengals that had, Joe Burrow with a, unbelievable year, best year of his career, Triple Crown winning receiver, and missed the playoffs, right? So, I mean, there's just a difference there. Offense is great for a game. Defense is a championship, mentality. So I like what they're doing. I still don't know that they even win their division, though. KC, with all their toys, that's another team that finds their way, right? And since they are continuing to get healthier, I know they lost the other day, but I mean, overall, it's a solid team. It's not as good as it's been, but I would bet by the end of this thing, they're giving the Broncos a run for it.
Okay, we'll see. Dave, let's talk about what happened out here.
Hey, puppy.
Wow. What can you say? The Chargers, they humbled ayahuasca. Of course, there was a couple of those picks that were tips. I think one was a tip, one went off the receiver's hands. So I'm not going to, get on him for those necessarily. But
a lot of drops. There was a
yeah,
lot of drops in that game.
and but as Bo alluded to, there was some talk about getting Waddle, and there was some talk about getting Myers. But Myers decided that he would rather be number one in Jacksonville than number two in Pittsburgh. I don't know if that if that may not be a statement, but what's I mean, it does prove that there are circumstances where we are willing to give up those draft picks for the right receiver. But in this case, we struck out before after the deadline. What's your take, on the rest of our schedule here? How the Ravens are now all of a sudden, number one, even though they're a game behind us, I believe now. What's your take here, Dave? We're starting to get into the real meat of our season here.
Well, first, the one thing about, the Steelers didn't make a trade before the deadline, but that doesn't mean that they weren't trying to make a trade. And as Mike Tomlin mentioned in his Tomlin Tuesday the other day, he likes shopping. And Omar Khan, I'm sure, was on the phone, but at the same time, they're not going to overpay what they feel is overpaying for a player, in terms of draft picks or salary or whatever. And they're always looking to strengthen their team. So on a minor level, they did sign Asante Samuel Jr., who's recovering from spinal surgery just 7 months ago. It was a Pittsburgh surgeon. He was in Pittsburgh, for the surgery. So I guess he got to see the city a little bit. He's on the practice squad, and they also signed Marquez Valdez-Scantling. And we'll have to see if those two guys end up contributing or not. They're always going to be looking at strengthening their team, and they let Juan Thornhill go. He was one thing in terms of his production, and they signed Sebastian Castro, who the Dolphins had let go. For the game, the game against it was like the exact opposite of what I saw in Pittsburgh against the Colts. In that game, everything went right for Pittsburgh. The ball was going right. They were getting the turnovers. In this game, if it could go wrong, it went wrong. And the primary problem was Aaron Rodgers. He had a bad game. And it wasn't drops that did it. It was bad passing that did it. He had DK Metcalf one-on-one with the safety. He throws a better ball, it's a touchdown. They ended up with a field goal. Another play, Jonnu Smith is nobody close to him at the 10-yard line.
Yeah.
And he throws him a bad ball that Jonnu Smith almost got, but it should have got, but didn't. And Chris Boswell ends up missing a field goal. He has Calvin Austin open. He misses Calvin Austin, just misses him. He overthrows DK Metcalf, and that turns into an interception that they score on. So Aaron Rodgers, the safety, there was no reason for that safety. He had stepped back. He stepped back into the field of play. He had a pocket. And for whatever reasons, I don't know if he didn't have the vision downfield, he decides to go back into the end zone. And I think Faltano, his guy had come off the block, and he was right there, and he goes down for a safety. Bad pocket awareness, bad vision, bad passing. So I put most of the blame on Aaron Rodgers, but Chris Boswell missing a 45-yard field goal, bad. Calvin Austin letting a pass bounce off his hands that's intercepted, bad. Joey Porter letting a ball bounce off his hands that could have been an interception at midfield. Instead, they punt. They get it at the 6-yard line. They end up with a safety instead of having the ball at midfield.
The other one bounced off. The other interception was another one that bounced off. It went through the hands and off the shoulder pad, right?
Well, yeah, that was Duggar. And this was down in the red zone, and he had a shot, not like when Joey Porter was right to him. He pulled a nice tail.
Yep.
But with Duggar, he had a shot at getting the interception. It was just a little bit off, and he couldn't corral it. And that would have saved the score there. So, and then Keyshawn Williams muffing the punt, a fair catch, muffed it. That was recovered for a score. So really, it was a winnable game. But Aaron Rodgers primarily, if he had connected with DK Metcalf in the beginning, changes the complexion of the game. In terms of their schedule, they got to travel to the Bears. Well, this week they play Cincinnati, and this is a pivotal game. This game could decide where they're going for the rest of the season, whether these 2 games in December against Baltimore are going to mean anything. So they have to beat the Bengals. And if they don't, I think they're done, because after the Bengals, they travel to Chicago to play the Bears, who've been looking pretty good. Then they have to play the Bills. They play the Ravens in their first December game against the Ravens. Those are 3 tough games. So that means that this game against Cincinnati, and I'm going to travel. I've been sick, but I'm still going to go back up to Pittsburgh to watch that game. It's a pivotal game. And the song in my articles, I always put a song at the end, a song selection. So for my recap of the Chargers game, I put Coconut by, was it Harry Nielsen? You put the lime in the coconut. Basically, the whole thing, this lady, she put the lime in the coconut. She got a tummy ache. So she called the doctor. And what did the doctor say? Put some lime in the coconut and call me in the morning. And so, in other words, Aaron Rodgers gave us a bellyache in Chargers. But in order for us to do anything, we're going to have more Aaron Rodgers, and hopefully a good Aaron Rodgers that kind of settles out the team.
Yeah, I'm hoping we can get past the Bengals, but
you do only have to deal with Flacco though. Joe Burrow supposedly isn't going to be available until they play the Ravens the following week.
Yeah. And they only had to deal with Flacco the last time, and Chase Brown and T. Higgins combined for like 267 receiving.
Yeah, I mean,
he tore them apart. Now, I would rather face Flacco than Burrow.
Yes.
But if Burrow is allowed to sit in that pocket for any length of time, he's going to tear you apart. And that's exactly what he did.
Yeah.
So,
and he has
happen.
He has had great success against the Steelers as of late.
Yeah, he knows, he has that kind of swag, of walking in like, I think he feels he's in control when he plays the Steelers. He's beat our ass so many times.
And it's funny because it was like a flip of a switch, because early in his career, he didn't have a lot of success against the Steelers, and then that switched, and then he's had a ton of it, right?
Yeah.
So it was like, oh, trade a game here and there. It was, you weren't winning, and then you've won everything. It's kind of funny.
But what I remind people, like a lot of Steelers Nation is really upset. They're back on the fire Tomlin thing and all this. And I try to remind them, number one, my preseason prediction was an 8-9 record. The Las Vegas book preseason was over under 8.5 wins. Yeah. Their preseason picks, they were only favored in 6 games going into the season.
Yeah, that's what I said, 6-11. But
I only said 9 wins because Tomlin finds a way to get 9 wins. Not because I thought the team was good enough to do it, just that he just finds a way to duct tape and zip tie a 9-win season.
Well, Ayahuasca has already exceeded my expectations on staying upright, but he did have one of the games that I thought he would last week, so we'll see. But you want to give us a quick rundown of our predictions there before we get into them, Dave?
Sure. So week 10, this was a really weird week because usually Bill is 2 or 3 picks ahead of everybody. He only had 13 out of 28 right. James, for some reason, I only had you do it. I missed 3 of your picks. I did not hear you make the picks. So I had you 6 out of 20.
Oof.
You really did bad. Don got 14 out of 28. Demetrius had 11 out of 28. And me and Reggie, we both had, you know how Reggie says he doesn't know how to pick. We both had 16 out of 28. So it was a really, really weird week. And I think week 10 did have like a lot of weird results. So like, the Buffalo game, for example.
Well, not just the Buffalo game. You got, like you said, you had 2 games last week that ended up 10-7.
Primetime games.
Yeah,
Who predicts those kind of things?
Yeah,
For the season, Bill remains in first place with 54.7% of his picks correct. James, you still held on to second. You're at 51.7%. Anthony is in third at 51.1%, even though he missed last week. And Don is fourth at 50.7. Demetrius fifth at 44.9. And then I'm, of course, the caboose, since I only watch the Steelers. I don't watch other football. And it shows in my picks. I only have 43.6% correct in my picks.
Yeah. Well, we had some pretty interesting games this week, starting with tomorrow's night games. So we got the Not Yets getting 12.5. They're playing the Patriots. The over/under is 43.5. Oh, what do you think here?
I mean, why do all the primetime games suck? Like, it's especially Thursday, but I mean, you feel like the Patriots have to just demolish them, right? What'd you say the line was?
12.5. They're giving the Jets 12.5. Over/under is 43.5.
I'm gonna go. That is a big line, though. You know what? I'm going to go with the Pats cover. I think the Jets winning a game last week was an anomaly. They just punted half their team. So I'm going to go with the Pats cover. They beat them up. We'll go with the under. I don't think the Jets are going to score much.
Okay. What about the Commanders? They're getting, they're getting 2.5. Playing against the Finns that pulled that rabbit out of their hat last week, but the over/under is 47.5.
So this one is really tough because the Dolphins are a bad team and the Commanders have nobody playing. So this is a game, if I was actually betting money, I would keep my money in my pocket. Like I would, if it was betting pizza money, I would literally just order the pizza. I'm going to go with the Dolphins win their second in a row and, ruin their draft pick options. only because the Commanders are so beat up. You know, you got Bridgewater's the starter there now, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with
no Scary Terry. He's out.
exactly. Yeah,
who else is out?
Their whole team is injured. So I'm going to go with the Dolphins just by attrition alone. They just have the healthier team.
Okay, I'm gonna take the Pats and the over. I think the Pats. I think might score 35 points. So the Jets are that bad, and I'm also going to take the Fins, but I'm going to take the under.
Okay, and did you take the over or under in that game, Bo?
Oh, what'd you say the score was?
47 and a half.
Oof. I'll take the under also.
Yeah. On you, Dave.
All right. I'm going to take the Jets. I don't think they're going to win, but I'll take them in the points and the over. And then I'm going to take Miami in the under. And just so that we know, Don, who couldn't be with us tonight, he took the Pats in the over and Miami in the under.
Okay.
So staying with you, Dave, we have the Packers -7. I think Fields is starting. I mean, not Fields. Who is it? I think Jackson Dart is still under concussion protocol.
Oh, it's Winston. Yeah. Winston.
Yeah, Wilson's third string.
It's not Wilson. It's who's the other one?
Jameis Winston.
Jameis Winston. Yeah. Winston is. They say he'll be starting this game. So, Dave, we got the Packers -7. The over under is 43.5.
You know, the Packers are kind of like a Jekyll and Hyde team this year, but I'm still going to go with Green Bay. I mean, Dable, he just got fired. I'm going to take the Packers in the over.
Yeah, I mean they held the Eagles to only 10 points. So what do you think about the Bucks given getting 5? And I mean the Bucks are getting 5.5. They're playing at the Bills, and the over under is 47.5. Dave.
Well, I'm riding on Josh Allen. I'm taking Buffalo in the over.
Okay. You want to give Don's picks there?
Sure. He took Green Bay in the under, which was probably the smarter move. And he took Tampa Bay in the over.
What do you got, Bo?
Yeah, so I got the Bills in the over. Tampa is also a team that has way too many injuries. It's why you're seeing them start to slide. There's nobody left. Like Baker just has to go play hero ball and hope for the best. That's not going to work against the better teams in the league. Plus, the way the Bills got embarrassed, they're going to come out ready to go. So I'm going to go with the Bills, dominate that game, take the over. And then the Packers game is funny, right? Because you look at it and you're like, okay, the Packers should easily win this game, but it's in New York. They just fired their coach. What happens to teams when they fire their coach that first game? They almost always win, right? They almost always win. Plus, you're going to have Jameis Winston out there eating W's, right? And so, I mean, he's so crazy that he can win you a game, right? So in the interest of watching the world burn, because people would lose their minds if the Giants win, I'm going to take the Giants to win outright. And just for the interest of chaos alone. And what did you say the over-under was? It was 47?
43.5.
43. I will take the over there. I'll take the over.
Okay. I'm going to take the Packers and the under, and I'm going to take the Bills and the over. Neither one of them seem to be playing much defense.
The thing that's funny, though, in my actual pick'em challenge for my show tomorrow, I have Green Bay.
Well, you got to stir the pot every once in a while or the stew will get burnt.
That's right.
So sticking with you there, Bo. Let's see. Mr. Carroll came in just in time to make his picks here. I see. So we'll get Bill's picks after we get Bo's. How you doing tonight, Bill?
What's up, man?
Yeah, trying to crank out my college preview articles and get them posted in time for the cutoff. So it was a busy evening with my work after my work that they pay me for.
Well, you came in just in time to give your picks here, but I'm trying to get Bo's. Let's see, where did we stop here? We're with the Texans -7, playing at the Titans. The over-under is 399. No, the over-under is 39.5, Bo.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Texans here because the Titans are just awful. And then probably the under because both teams kind of suck. So I'll go with the under, but I'll go with the Texans are the better of the bad.
Okay. We have the Bungles getting 5.5, Bo. They're playing at the Steelers, and the over-under is 49.5.
Oh man, 5.5 is a tough one because that's where the upsets happen. It's a funny line. A minus or a plus 5.5 is where the underdog wins a lot, just for whatever reason. I don't think that'll be the case this time around, though. I think I like the Steelers here. I kind of like the Bengals to cover, though. This feels like it's going to be a field goal kind of game. So I'll take the Bengals to cover, but the Steelers to win outright. And I'll go with the over.
Okay. I'm going to go with the Texans here and the over. And I'm going to go with the Steelers and the under. Dave.
Okay, I'm going to take Houston in the over, and I'm taking Cincinnati to cover in the under.
All right. Bill, you got a lot of catching up to do here. So
Okay.
So let's start with the Thursday night game. We got the Jets against the Pats. They're giving the Jets 12.5. Over under is 43.5.
I'll take the over, and I think the Jets play out of their minds and lose by a mere 10 points.
Okay. The next Bill, we have the Commanders. They're getting 2.5. They're playing the Fins, and the over-under is 47.5.
There's not an option for both teams to lose, right? Okay.
0-0 tie.
I mean, we just saw the Dolphins humiliate the Bills, but that was what we call Ferris. Was it Ferris Pyrite or whatever? Not Ferris. What is it called? But that's whatever. Fool's gold. Like that's exactly what it is. It was their Super Bowl, and they won their Super Bowl, and now they can win one more game the rest of the year. But it won't be this one. I think that a thoroughly beaten up Washington Commanders team manages to limp to victory. You said 47.5 is the over-under?
Yeah.
God, they're good. That's about right.
Yeah, they're not in the business of losing money.
Yeah, that's what I'm realizing. Boy, that's a toughie. I will go ever so slightly under. I think it'll be 47.
Okay.
The hook getting you.
Okay, Bill, we had the Packers -7, no hook, just -7. against the Giants, but the over-under is 47.5.
So the Giants are getting 7, and they're playing where?
At the
In New York.
Giants.
I thought it was 43.5.
Yeah, 43.5. I'm sorry.
Okay, hold on. Okay, to review, the line is 43.5. They're playing in
New York.
New York. Okay, that helps the Giants a tiny bit. And 7 with no hook is
And
the line,
Winston is the starter this week.
which makes it more fun to watch.
Exactly.
I'm going to watch the heck out of that game. I might record it for posterity. As you remember, James, I wanted the Steelers to go after Jameis when he was available, partially for the fun. Let's see. Gosh, that's once again about right. Bo, you're right. I guess these guys know what they're doing. Sheesh. And I think pushing is not an option. So I think they barely cover it. Like 23-31. So I'm going to take the over and the Packers by the skin of their teeth.
Okay, we had the Bucks getting 5.5. They're traveling to the Bills, and the over/under is 47.5.
Right. And if I remember correctly, Joseph Lee Burrow, no S, is practicing in a limited capacity, but is unlikely to play.
He won't be available for this game. It'll
Yeah.
be Flacco.
It is Flacco, which may not be a bad thing. I
Are
mean,
you doing
Flacco
the
giveth and
Buffalo
Flacco.
or the Cincinnati-Pittsburgh game?
Right now, we're talking about the Buffalo game. Him and Bo's talking about the Steeler game. But
Oh, okay. Got it. So Buffalo, and it's being played in Buffalo.
yeah,
Okay, that makes it a little easier to parse. And the line was
5.5.
5.5.
Yeah.
The always tricky 5.5. Okay. As Bo mentioned earlier, also, that is the line that gets a lot of people. A lot. Yeah, what the heck? I'll take the Bills to cover barely, but I think they'll cover. And I'll take the over because I don't trust the Bills' defense. I'll check anybody's defense in that game, in fact.
all right. Let's see. We had the Texans minus giving the 7 to the Titans, and they're playing in Tennessee. The over/under is 39.5.
I'll take the over, and I'll take the Titans. I don't think the Titans win, but I think they, once again, play out of their minds and lose by like 4.
Okay. Now we have Cincinnati and Joe Flacco. They're also getting 5.5. They're playing at the Steelers, and the over/under is 49.5.
I like nothing about this game in terms of picking it. I'll take the. I don't trust these defenses either, but I feel like something weird's going to happen, and we're all going to be wrong about this game in the most profound of ways. I will take the under, and I will take. Oh. Let's see.
At least you sound convicted about it.
Oh, I'm so conflicted about this game, and I feel like we're all going to look idiots when this game is over. Myself, probably first amongst them. I mean, everything within me thinks it should be a bounce back game by the Steelers, which means it won't be. So I think I'm going to take the Bengals. Maybe not to win outright, but to not lose by, 6.
Yep, that's the way I went to.
Yep, that's what I'm doing.
Over/under 49.5.
I
I'm going to take. I took the under. I didn't like it, but I took the under.
Okay. We got the Chargers, Bill, -3 against the Jaguars. The over-under is 43.5.
I'll take the Chargers and the over.
Okay. And the Bears +3 playing the Vikings. They're playing at the Vikings. And the over-under is, once again, let's see, that one's 48.5.
Oof. Guys are good. These guys are good. I will take the Vikings and I can't push. I'll take the Vikings and
Well, you can push. It's 3.
Yeah, if it's an even number, you can push.
oh,
It's 3, not 3.5. Just 3.
okay. Okay, well, Vikings on the push.
Playing for the no money. I like it.
Okay. And the over/under.
Okay, so yeah, I think the Vikings managed to be right on the number at 3, and the over/under is 40. What again?
48.5.
48 and a half. Ooh, that's kind of a biggie. I don't like it, but I think I'll take the under. Yep.
I'm gonna take the Bears and the under, and I'm gonna take the Chargers and the over. Bo.
Yeah, I'm going to go Chargers in the over. I think the Chargers do some work. I'm going to take the Vikings and the under. The Bears are so funny because Caleb Williams looks good with his first 12 scripted plays. And then the drop off is ridiculous. So if they can get him off of his spot early, the Vikings are just a better team all around. So I'll go with the Vikings to cover, right? Because even 3 points is a push. So I'll take them to cover and the over. I think they're going to do be much better than they've been over the last couple of weeks with JJ McCarthy back.
Are you taking the over?
No. Sorry, the under. The under. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah. Because they're the only ones that are going to score some points. I think the Bears are going to look like the Bears.
I think they get Swift back this week, but we'll see. Dave.
Okay, I'm going to take the Chargers in the over and the Vikings in the under. And Don took the Chargers in the under and the Bears in the over.
Okay. Panthers getting 3.5 to the Falcons. No, the Panthers are getting 3.5. I'm sorry. They're playing the Falcons, and the over/under is 42.5. Dave.
Which Carolina team is going to show? I'm going to take Atlanta in the over.
Okay. And the first of the Sunday night games, we're going to have the Seahawks. They're getting 2.5. They're playing at the Rams, and the over/under is 48.5.
That's a tough one. I'm going to take Seattle in the under.
Okay. Don's picks.
Atlanta in the under and Seattle in the under.
Okay. Bill.
Okay. The first game was played where again?
In Atlanta.
Played in Atlanta, and it's the Colts versus Atlanta.
It's the
Carolina.
Panthers.
Carolina.
It's the Panthers.
Carolina. Okay, Carolina. Right.
Colts are on the bye, I think.
Yep.
And you said the line is the over/under is what?
42.5.
Oof, that's super low. I'll take the over and the Falcons.
Uh, Seahawks and Rams, Bill. Seahawks are getting 2.5. They're playing at the Rams. Over under is 48.5.
I'll take the Rams in the under.
Okay. I'm gonna take I'm gonna take the Falcons here and the under, and I'm gonna take the Rams and the over. Bo.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Falcons and the under as well. Man, that Seattle Rams game is about as tough a pick as you can get here.
Yep.
I'll lean the homer route. I'll take Seattle on the road. 48.5. Oof. I'm going to go under. Both these defenses are no joke. So I realistically, you could pick either direction, and this is a coin flip. Like, you could be right. So I'll take Seattle and the under. I think this is going to be a dogfight.
Okay. I'm going to give you these last three and let you go there, Bo. The 49ers, minus 2.5. They're giving the 49ers are giving the Cardinals 2.5. As we know, Kyler is still out. The over-under is 48.5. Bo.
Yeah, so the Niners cruise here. There is a couple of things that really just destroyed the Cards. Now, obviously, they got beat up last week. They lose one of their guys to an Achilles injury. Marvin Harrison Jr. had an appendix surgery yesterday. So this Cards team is about as injured as it can get. If you look at their injury report, there is 31 people on it. So it could be some local high school team. They're going to beat this Arizona team. So I will take the Niners, whatever the points are, whatever the over is. They're going to destroy the Cardinals. Sorry about their luck. What was the other game?
We have the Ravens against the Clowns. The Ravens are giving the Clowns 7.5. The over-under is 39.5, Bo.
Yeah, so I'll go with the over. I'll go with the Ravens absolutely dominate this because they need this to get back into playoff contention. So they're coming with a purpose, and the Browns are the Browns.
And of course, let's see. We have the Chiefs. They will be playing the Broncos, Bo, and the over/under is 43.5. The Chiefs are favored by 3.5.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Chiefs and the points. I am gonna go with the over here. KC is very similar to the Ravens in the way that they're trying to get back into this playoff race, and the Broncos have narrowly missed, catching L's numerous times. I think this is one where they grab a hold of one with both hands.
Sunday night, Bo, we had the Lions. They are actually getting 2.5. They're playing at Philadelphia, and the over/under is 46.5.
I like the Lions here on the road. The Eagles have won despite not looking particularly good. When you look at the way these two teams are playing, I like the more balanced team of the Lions. Now, the Lions have their own issues as well, but I like them to upset the Eagles in Philly.
Okay. And last but not least, Bo, we have Monday night. We have Jerry's guys. They're giving the Raiders 3.5, and the over/under, wait for it, 50.5.
This is going to be such a horrible game. At least they put it in prime time. Thanks a lot, NFL. Could we start flexing games earlier? because I'm pretty sure the Seattle Rams game could have fit in here and looked a whole lot better. That being said, I'm taking the Cowboys, which means they're probably going to lose because every time I pick them, they do. I think they beat up on the Raiders. The Raiders are going to score because the Cowboys don't have a defense. But so I'll go with the Cowboys to cover, and I'm going to go with the over. This seems like it's going to be one of those like 60-point games where nobody stops anybody.
Did you take the over or the under in the Detroit-Philly game, Bo?
Oh, let's see. What was that line?
46 and a half.
I will take the over there. I will take the over.
Okay, give us your final thoughts there, Bo. Thanks for sticking around getting the predictions in.
Yeah, so my final thoughts is persistence is key. So whatever you're trying to do, just keep at it. The NHL got tired of saying no, and so I finally get to go cover the Kraken on the 26th. So I will have my media credentials for the NHL. So just stay persistent. Keep at it. Eventually, you will annoy whatever it is you're doing enough for them to be like, hey, you know what? If you just stop talking to me, you can come.
Well done.
I know the feeling well, Bo, from when I was covering boxing.
Hey, Bill, I'll tell you a quick story from when I was in high school. We had this guy, Mark Millsman. He was like a real con guy. There was the World Hockey Association. And Baltimore had a franchise, the Baltimore Blades. Well, Mark Millsman, he would write them and say that he would get us press passes to the game saying that we were with the Montgomery County Hockey Journal. And literally we get us press passes
That's
to go
awesome.
see the Baltimore Blades play games. We were in high school drinking beer up in the press box.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
All right, Bo. Have a good one. Thanks so much, man.
Take it easy, guys.
See you next week.
Congrats.
Okay. Bo's also been covering. He's got his credentials for the WNBA also. So Bo has been very busy. All right. Let's see. Where did we stop off here for us?
49ers, Arizona.
Which one?
49ers, Arizona.
Okay, Bill. 49ers, Arizona.
I mean, as was mentioned, there were regiments at the Battle of Chickamauga that had a less gory injury report than the Arizona Cardinals. So I'm going to, I guess, what's it say? Follow that cab. What was the over-under on that one?
48 and a half.
That's probably about right again. I will go ever so slightly under.
Okay. And we have the Ratbirds against the Clowns. Ravens are giving the Browns 7.5. They're playing in Cleveland, and the over-under is 39.5.
I think both of these defenses are good, but not quite that good. So I will take the Ravens and the over.
Okay. I'm going to take the 49ers and the under, and I'm going to take the Ratbirds and the over. So it's on you, Dave.
I'll take the 49ers and the over. And so Baltimore's minus 7.5.
Right. Baltimore, yeah, they're giving the Clowns 7.5.
So I'll take Baltimore and the over. And Don was the outlier. He took Arizona in the under. He must know something we don't. And then he took Baltimore in the over. So everybody took Baltimore in the over.
Okay. What about going on to the Chiefs and the Broncos there, Dave? The Chiefs giving the Broncos 3.5. And the over-under is 43.5.
This should be a good game. I mean, Denver had a good season, but I'm going to go with Kansas City in the over.
Okay. Sunday night, we got the Lions, and they are getting 2.5. They're playing at the Eagles, and the over-under is 46.5.
I'm going to go with the Eagles in the over.
Okay, you want to get Don here?
Yeah, he took Denver in the over, and he took the Eagles in the over. Although I like what Bo had to say about Detroit. Detroit could they might surprise people with Philadelphia, but I'll stick with Philly.
Yeah, if it was 3, I would probably take Detroit, but 2.5, I'm going to take the Eagles, and I'm definitely going to take. I don't know. Let's see. After last week, I'm going to take. I'm going to say this is going to be under. Bill.
So the first game in that last group of games was
Kansas City and Denver. Kansas City is minus 3.5.
Oh, that's about. Oh, let's see. Kansas City minus 3.5. Wow. I mean, the Broncos don't do anything but play games that are decided by less than that. So I don't think Kansas City covers. They might win, but it's going to be another one of those nail biters. 1, 2, 3, maybe points. One of those down to the wire affairs. And the over-under on that one was
43.5. Sorry, James.
Sorry, 40 what?
43.
43.5.
Oh, I'll take the over. Yeah.
Okay. Sunday night, we got the Lions getting 2.5, playing the Eagles at Philadelphia.
And the over-under is
46.5.
I will take the under, and I will take the Eagles.
Okay.
James, we need your Kansas City Denver pick.
Kansas. I took Kansas City and I took the over.
Okay.
Did we get Don's picks there?
Yeah, he took Don took Denver in the over and Philadelphia in the over.
Okay. And Bill, I got to ask you about that Bears game. What did you think about the Bears and the Giants? The Bears pulling it out, probably Caleb Williams' best game of the year. Was it a fluke, or are we seeing the real Bears here?
I mean, frankly, a little bit of both. What you're seeing is that it takes a while to, and I wrote a whole article about it. You can find it on Team MBS Media about why it takes a while to fully ingest, particularly if you're a young quarterback, the Ben Johnson system. Ben Johnson's system is, like many systems, a polyglot. It uses stuff from like that Shanahan tree where you've got a lot of zone stuff, but also there's gap and man's blocking scheme stuff. He uses a numbering system and a color system and a one-word nomenclature system all mixed together. So there's elements of Coryell / Earhart / Joe Gibbs offenses and elements of West Coast and elements of Air Raid all mixed together. So it takes a while to fully absorb it. And he's now, once again, it's not the first system he's been in, but it's the first system of this type he's been in. And he's starting to unlock it. And a year from now, he'll really be comfortable. But it's going to take, frankly, until about this time next year for him to fully get the nuances of the offense. So he's going to have good and bad days even now because he naturally wants to create. But the offense doesn't want him. Well, it doesn't. It wants him to stick with the play as called until he can't. And that's why Goff was such a great fit, because Goff is more than willing to go down with the ship. He's not a guy that's looking to break the pocket. I mean, everything has to happen before he will abandon the play as called. And that is the opposite of the way that Caleb Williams grew up playing quarterback. So it's going to take him, like I said, another, 10 to 15 games before he really, really, really locks in. But you can see the flashes.
Okay. Dave, let's see. Let's get your Monday night pick. I think Jerry's guys, they're actually giving the Raiders 3.5. The over-under is 50.5. And your final thoughts?
Oh, you don't want to do all the picks? Okay, I'll take Dallas in the under.
Which one did we miss?
Well, because you and Bill haven't made your
Well, I'm going to let Bill make his pick before his final thoughts. And
all right.
So I can give you mine now, though. I'm going to take Jerry's guys, and I'm going to take the over because I don't see anyone playing defense here. So I'm going to take the over, and I'm going to take Jerry's guys. So,
all right.
So I think it's your pick. Well, Don, we can get Don's pick, then we'll get your pick and your final thoughts.
He took Dallas in the under, and I'm also taking Dallas in the under. For my final thoughts, Antonio Brown was extradited from Dubai. And he was brought into New Jersey, and I believe that he's waived. He'll be transported to, I think, Florida.
Yeah.
And he's being accused of attempted murder. And in the video, I've seen some of the video. He's clearly fighting. He kicks a security guard that's on the ground and somehow ends up with a gun. And in the one clip, you see a gun in his hand. And then the next thing you know, 2 shots are fired at this guy that he was having an online battle with. And
the security guard's gun? Didn't he take the gun from the security guard?
Right. But he shot it at the guy that he had the initial scuffle with.
Right. Yeah.
And I guess they were having an online thing. And I follow a guy, Nate the lawyer. He doesn't really cover sports. He's an attorney out of New York, and I really like his takes. He tends to be very nonpartisan and just kind of analyzes things legally. But he went over AB's cases, and he went over the litany, and he didn't even cover them all. But over 30 minutes, there was the incident where he threw the furniture out the window that nearly hit a little kid on the street. There was the incident when he wasn't paying the movie people, the moving driver refused to pay him. His wife, or his mother of 4 of his children, she tried to pay the guy. And she's up in the cab saying, "Don't call the police. I'll pay you. Just give me a number." And then AB comes, you see him in the rear view mirror, and I guess he yanks her out and he goes after the guy. Yep. And many different incidents. He owned a semi-pro football team, and then got into trouble for not paying the payment. And a lot of people have claimed that once Montez Burfict, that hit to the head, dirty shot, that was the cause of the problem. But there's people like Ryan Clark that identified problems with Antonio Brown going back to his rookie year.
Mm-hmm.
For me, as a Steelers fan, I mean, Steelers fans loved Antonio Brown. Never a harder working guy. At training camp, the first player on the field, last player off the field. He would be on the jugs machine, not like 40 or 50. It would be like 100, 120 catches after practice, after everybody else is gone. And I know that AB has claimed that he has CTE. And unfortunately, to date, CTE can only be diagnosed post-mortem after you die. So I don't know if he has CTE or not, but clearly he has trouble. And the reason I bring that up is that I really think that the NFL and the Pittsburgh Steelers should be embracing Antonio Brown. He needs help. He grew up, he became a man in their system and maybe a victim of their system if it turns out that he has CTE. And I think that the Steelers and the NFL should be embracing him and telling him publicly that, hey, we have all the support here that you want, whether it's psychological counseling, whether it's, some type of help in what he's done, because all these transgressions, they're horrendous, and he's out of control, and it's gotten worse. But I don't think it's something that the NFL or the Pittsburgh Steelers can afford to just ignore and to distance themselves from. I think the right thing to do is to embrace one of their former stars to see what they can do to help him. And I'm not excusing anything that he's done. I mean, I'm very much a person that's up on accountability, and he's going to have to. One of the problems is that he's been enabled because of his fame and because of his money. He's been enabled, and he's been able to go without accountability in the past. He's gotten away with things, and that's part of the problem. So anyway, that's my final thought, because I always appreciated what Antonio Brown did on the field. He was an unparalleled receiver. I mean, he was really, really something, and the hard work that he put in. That I saw the hard work that he put in, and it's a shame to see somebody so talented spiral out of control.
Yeah, well said. I think like you said, he's been enabled. You can go back to some of the incidents that happened even in Tampa Bay. Which I do commend Tom for taking him into his house and so forth. But yeah, I think that is something that should be explored by the NFL as well as the Steelers and some of the other teams that he played for, because he, like as you said, he's without these incidents, he'd probably be at least get more respect from the league and from his fellow players. I don't know if his conduct would put him in the Hall of Fame type category, but that's another conversation.
Yeah, there's only one guy. There's one guy that had a lot of All Pros. I can't remember his name, but he'll never be going to the Hall of Fame. But he was in a murder-suicide, killed his family, and then killed himself.
Oh, you're talking about I wrote about him recently too. From Kansas City. Oh my gosh. I can see it in my mind. Great left tackle.
Right. He would be a shoo-in. He would be in the Hall of Fame no matter what. But I mean, that heinous things. But then there's questions about because this was in the days before they knew anything about CTE.
About CTE, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's a precedence for the Steelers doing the right thing for a player that's done something horrendous. And I go back to Ernie Holmes, Fats Holmes, when he had the shooting on the Ohio Turnpike. Well, that didn't end his career. Pittsburgh kind of took him in, and they tried to look after him, and he did play in the NFL after that. So, Anyway, I won't belabor it long.
Bill, last pick there, Jerry's guys, they're minus 3.5. They're playing the Raiders at the Raiders. Excuse me. And the over-under is 50.5.
I will take the Raiders and the under.
All right. And your final thoughts, Bill?
Well, my final thoughts. On this day in 1892, one William Walter, a.k.a. Pudge Heffelfinger, became the first ever professional football player when the Allegheny Athletic Association paid him the princely sum. And actually, in 1892, that is kind of a princely sum of $500. And Heffelfinger, at 6'3", 210 pounds, as a freshman at Yale, became one of the best players of his era and one of the best players on one of the great teams of the era. So just to give you an idea, on the team he's on, Amos Alonzo Stagg, you might have heard of him, is on that team. Charlie Gill's on that team. Billy Rhodes is on that team. Lee Bum McClung is on that team. George Washington Woodruff is on that team. But the best player on that team was one William Walter, a.k.a. Pudge Heffelfinger. And in the years he was there, they lost 2 games. And in their finest year, not only were they undefeated, they were unscored upon. And at the end of the season, had outscored their opponents by 698 points to 0. Now, obviously, football was not as widespread or well known. It was a different time. Most teams didn't even have coaches at the time. I mean, your team captain was essentially the closest thing most teams had to a coach. And everyone played both ways. So it's a very different game in a lot of ways. And nobody threw the ball.
No forward pass.
Right. No one threw the ball. And until 1903, the forward pass isn't even legal. And even then, it was ridiculously punitive to throw the ball because an incomplete forward pass was a turnover. So nobody wanted to throw the ball for quite some time. But the point is that Heffelfinger changed America by becoming a professional football player. And though the power of that took a while to really land because professional football was a backwater sport for a long time. And as I mentioned, even 30 years after this, in most cities in America, pro football scores would be behind things like dog races, right? Or highlight in certain parts of the country would come further up in the sports pages than professional football scores. So it took a while for pro football to really establish itself and become America's sport, America's obsession. But none of this could have happened without having the first. You have to start with one, and that number one was once again William Walter, a.k.a. Pudge Heffelfinger. And today, I salute you.
Yeah, I think that they have the ledger entry of when they paid them, the Allegheny team, at Canton.
At Canton,
it's on display there.
It is indeed.
Oh, okay. All right, guys. Well, hey, great spending some time with you guys. We're getting out of here. Dave, I know you appreciate the time. So, hey, guys, have a great weekend, and we'll talk to everybody next week.
Yeah, hopefully Pittsburgh pulls it off against Cincinnati. I'm hopeful.
Dave, if we lose this one,